everybody, welcome back. So I have a new class that I wanted to share with you, so I thought I would do a bonus video, and this is on the painter Wassily Kandinsky. And Kandinsky is really cool, and the class name is Unlocking Kandinsky, the Art and Color Theory of a Modern Master. And what makes Kandinsky so popular and well known is he is one of the founding fathers, we could say, of abstract painting. And he was a contemporary and friend of Gustav Klimt and Paul Klee. And they lived at the same time and did stuff together. Which I find very cool because, you know, I've already got a master study on Gustav Klimt that was super fun, and then I also have another master study on using color palettes of the masters. So this is the third master study that I have put together, and I absolutely loved studying Wassily Kandinsky. He was a Russian painter who moved around. He worked at the German design school Bauhaus, and he just had so many ideas and thoughts about music and color theory. And in class I actually have a PDF breaking down his color theory if you're interested in colors and moods and different things like that. He is one of the first to really kind of break down how colors make you feel and his theories around those, and so that was pretty cool. And in class we do several different projects. I just thought I'd show you the projects, and then we're going to paint a bonus project because one of the most famous paintings that you really see a lot of, and I particularly love myself, is his painting Concentric Circles. So Concentric Circles is the squares and circles painting that he did, and then we do our own version of that in class, and I'm going to do another version of that today because I already love concentric circles. I already do some of those in my artwork in different ways, and so it was really fun to study his project. So each of these projects comes with a project guide telling you a little bit about the painting, giving you some ideas and materials, suggestions, bonus variations, so that you can take what you're learning in class and jump off into other directions. So I have a bunch of project guides in class for lots of paintings in addition to some of the paintings that we do in class. I also have some other fun project guides, other fun PDF guides in class, exploring Wassily Kandinsky 40 bite-sized facts. That's pretty fun. We have a little PDF about Kandinsky. I have a PDF of ideas and things that you could do after you study him, just other projects and fun stuff for you to do, and lots of good stuff. I've got more than 12 PDFs in there for you. So the first project that we do is a warm-up, and that's this lovely book here where we are going to make a concertina book of our first warm-up project. So this is so much fun, where we explore color and just movement and play, and then we also explore his marks and black and white, and then we make a lovely book of those finished projects, which I just love. They are just kind of loosening you up and getting you used to playing, and when you're all done, you've got something really beautiful to show for it. So that's our warm-up, and then we get into 4 different paintings. We do concentric circles, and then we do a takeoff on his painting 30, where he did 30 squares, and we're just going to do a little takeoff on that. And then he was really good at abstracting landscapes, so we're going to take a look at houses in Munich in his project there and do our own version of that project. And then we're also going to look at the painting Upward, which is a lot more geometric, so you can see like all the different styles and things that he painted and experimented with. And so I've just picked up a variety of those for us to paint and experiment with and really learn like what he has done with a lot of those. And another one that was super fun with the PDFs that I've got back here is one on really deep diving into his color theories, and I really think you're going to love the color theory PDF. I'm not sure exactly where I've hid that back here, but that one's super fun. Maybe this one right here. Oh, here we go. Is it this one? Yes. The emotional and psychological power of color. So Kandinsky saw colors as independent forces with specific emotional and psychological effects. He believed the different hues could stir emotions, much like how music evokes feeling through sound. Below is an expanded breakdown of Kandinsky's color theories and how he associated colors with different moods, movements, and even musical tones. How cool is that? I studied color theory in college years ago for what you paint the different spaces that you're in, how they make you feel. Like you shouldn't paint a dining room red because everybody will get angry when they're in there eating, and you might end up with a lot of fighting, and you know, just fun different things like that. So I've just kind of gone through and given you a fun little PDF breaking down colors and their emotions, and some different information that he kind of came up with as he was doing his thing, and then color combinations and their effect, and color theory in your own work, and then some activities that you can do. So I thought that this would be a super fun class, a good artist to study, because we already know that I love the abstract artists, and I thought that we would paint a little bonus project here. I'm going to use my Masha's watercolors for this one because I love those watercolors, and I did the Kuritakis in class. And this one I'm going to do a concentric circle, another variation on that. And I've picked a color card because I find it easier to work off of a color direction. So this is card 354 in Cube 2. I find that even on doing something like this, where I'm like, ooh, let's do circles, what do we pick? And we just pick out a bunch of stuff. Even on something like this, we look at the one that I did in class. I have one circle that stands out dark and muddy compared to some of the other ones. And I think it's where I was just picking and choosing and going off script, and I ended up not really balancing that color anywhere else. And so I'm gonna see if picking a color palette and kind of using that as my guide. So I'm gonna be in the oranges, pinks, burgundies, purpley range, seeing if that will help me stay grounded. And so on here on the Masha's colors, that kind of puts me right here in these colors here, maybe in these purples here, perhaps in that little neutral right there. But it kind of keeps me in a color range. And you know, and I'm going to use my 1/2 inch oval wash, and his philosophy was to play with the color. Okay, these are going to be wonky circles. I want wonky. I'm not trying to get perfect. We're going to do just strange, wonky, fun things, maybe some color mixing. I've got a little dish here that I've worked with some, so we could, you know, maybe start off mixing some of those colors and then just going for it. So I'm going to start off in the circle part, and his fun with this was all about discovering color, maybe their relationships, how they interacted with each other and next to each other, and that's what we're kind of going for too. How do these work together? What can we get if we do whatever it is that we're thinking, where we're moved to go? I'm going to fill in some of these little spots I got started there. There we go. So I'm kind of mixing some color here. Maybe we'll come in with less color and it can be lighter. So play with different opacities and different... That one's kind of the same. Maybe start with dark instead of light. And then when we get our circles started, I kind of start with a center to jump off of because I find it easier to go from there, and then circle it out. It's just my preference there on that. I like this color. It's kind of a And I'm using the oval wash brush because it gives me wonky. We are going for wonky. You could use, that's a really dark purple. You could use a round brush if you found that easier. Round brush might be easy. Okay, I'm still trying to just stay within my color card and just go from there. So now that we've got that, now I'm going to start putting contrasting colors next to each other. It doesn't, no really specific direction other than just experimenting and play and letting them touch and do their thing. And I know that these watercolors granulate really pretty, so it'll be interesting to see what granulations come out of here. If you don't want the colors bleeding into each other, then you need to let those centers dry before you go to the next thing. So in this case, we might think of what colors contrast with each other, like blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel, so we could do that. We could think of what colors sit next to each other, so some analogous colors that are kind of beside each other on the color wheel. So this would be a good time to start experimenting with what colors do what. And that's kind of like his goal too, was to experiment with colors and see what they did. Like I like that red and aqua that we just got there. I already like red and aqua, so that was a fun choice. Got some purple and some blue. It's all about just play and discovery here at this point. What do these look like next to each other? And I kind of want each one to be a little different. So that's kind of where I'm going there. So I'm trying to stay in the purple, pink, red, and I've introduced some blue, but I'm okay with that. I just, on the color cards, they keep me focused in a direction rather than just really jumping off and being like, what about this color? What about that color? Because I'm the worst for just jumping all over the place with the colors. And then thinking, ooh, that was a bad choice. Whereas this keeps me kind of grounded and moving in the right direction. Alright, let's see what we got here. Let's do this one here. And because I like wonky circles, I like the big oval brush. If you don't like wonky, use that round brush. I'm going to go back on that one with some blue, but let me go ahead and do one more here with this. Okay, that one was really bright. Okay, I loved that one, so I don't remember what color that was. We're going to use this color. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that one's cool. That one's super cool. That one's super cool. Let's put that over here. And you don't have to duplicate any colors if you don't want, but we're in a color range here, so we're going to duplicate some. Okay, that was that bright purple. Didn't quite mean to do that. It's alright. And we're just noticing like the relationship of the different colors and what they look like next to each other and how they're reacting. And I could paint concentric circles every day. I like concentric circles, and then mark make and have some fun and just kind of move around the color wheel and think, okay, what does this look like next to that? Or what do we get if we do, you know, XYZ? Ooh, these are fun. And then we can kind of step back a little bit. That purple is too much next to each other, and see, like, are we achieving any balance in there also with the way that I've spread the colors out? I think it's okay. I don't have one that's super dark and muddy yet, but maybe I do and I'm just too close to it. And then when you get to the point where you can start painting the edges, I do want each one of these on the edges to be different than the other. So I am trying to maybe keep that in mind. Ooh, that one pulled the, oh, that one pulled the orange out. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's. I don't know if y'all can hear the rain, but it's pouring down rain today, and it's so lovely and peaceful and calm outside. And another thing that we can do while we're doing this is we can take some more of a color, whatever color we want, and lay other color in those circles. So don't stop at the one layer of circles. We've got multiple layers that we could be doing. I love that. Don't know if purple was the right shade there, but I actually kind of like it. That was kind of interesting. That might be the same color. Let's see. Let's pull a different shade. Ooh, there we go. Oh, look at that. Ooh, I like that one. We've got some variation on opacities too, so don't forget to play around with some different opacities. Just by adding more water to our watercolor will give us those differences there. Now, I almost want to just take this and spread these out. Let's see what we get if we just spread these out without necessarily adding more paint. 'Cause some of these got plenty of paint. I might want to do this with the round brush now that I think about it, because the round brush I've got more control over drawing something like a straight line like that. Look how pretty that one is. So pretty. And with these Masha's watercolors, we're almost pulling out some other color from the paint to make that square. Whereas I think in class I deliberately did a different color square, but I mean, you don't really have to. If you've got enough of some color there on the edge, we can get that square out of that color and still make it look a little different. And then I'm less likely to, I might need some more of something up here. Let's see. I'm less likely to pick a color that totally makes it go blah. Ooh, let's try this one, which I'm good at. I'm good at just totally picking like a color that then wasn't like the best choice ever. Like, why did I do that? The best at that. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Let's pull that blue down to make our square. And then we're going to have some color bleeding from any of them that we reactivate. And I'm okay with that too. Don't get stuck on that. Look at that. That's super cool, actually. I could put some more in there. Let's see. What if I come back with a little tiny bit of some other color? Let's do that. Okay, that might not have been the best choice. Let's just work that in a little bit. Okay, let's keep going. I kind of like the big wonky. Let's just go with the big wonky. And I did kind of mark this grid off. I'm working with a piece of Hahnemühle paper because that's the paper I like. But I did go ahead and pencil off a grid of about 3 by 3 squares when I taped this paper down. So that's what I'm working with. These are about 3 by 3 inch circles. Ooh, that one was wet. Gonna get my stick out here. So I can hold my hand up off the paper. And I'm not worried about too much if they're absolutely perfect, because if you look at his paintings are not absolutely perfect. It's not the concentric one, especially if you look at it really close. It's not perfect. It's got some wonky overlapping and some bleeding and some different fun stuff going on in there. So I'm using that as my permission that this does not have to be completely perfect when we're doing this. And I like wonky. That's why I think I like his concentric circles so much, because wonky is kind of fun. Helps you let go of perfectionism and everything being exact, which I know that a lot of us need that help letting go of perfectionism. Ooh, let's pull a little more, whatever that was doing back in there as I was. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Okay, I like that. Okay, I like that this one's got some orange-ish kind of colors. I'm just gonna lightly pick up some orange and get some of that going so that I can pull that color. There we go. And you might find it easier too to do this with like a square tip brush. There's just so many ways you can do these. I'm sticking with wonky. And this definitely fits in with my, let's see what we can create kind of feel that I do, because I don't know, you end up when you're done with something that you weren't really expecting because of the way you layer the colors in. When you're all done, you end up with something like super cool that you're like, huh, I wasn't even expecting that. Okay, let's put a wet circle around there so that we can pull that color out. Once they start to dry, we don't really have any color to pull from. I mean, we do, we could re-wet it, but I find it easier if we just add a wet ring around there and then pull that color. And then loop some extra color in there to really get that finished off. And we can almost treat our mark making at the end as a little bit of cleanup. So don't get hung up on this layer, because we've got other layers that we're going to add on top. Okay, I kind of want an orange layer out here. See what we got there. Is that the color I want? A little mix between these. A little extra water maybe. Alright, that was pretty darn fun. And if we take a look at our inspiration painting, let me pull that out. This one here, we can see that Kandinsky really gets into wonky, not perfectly circle. He does have some of these circles that are similar in color, but for the most part he tries to differentiate them. And we've got a different color on the outside of every square, and then we've got some other interlocking rings in there. So when I did mine, I was trying to embody that and stay kind of within a different color palette, because the primary colors are what he kind of stayed with there. So you could pick primary colors and do that very similarly. I went with a little bit more muted tone, and then with this, I went with a little bit more darker, moodier feel than even the other piece that I did. And so I'm going to let this dry, and then we're going to draw on top of that with some other mixed media things, just because it's fun. And it kind of gives us our own takeoff and variation from his original painting, which I love. Like, I love like these 9. And I would frame that up and hang it. I love it so much. The only thing that throws it on this one for me is that dark square. So I'm hoping on this one I don't end up with a wonky square that I'm like, oh, not my favorite square. But like this one, the blue and the orange, love. Again, these right here, the blue and the orange kind of shining at me, I love those. I like this one with a little bit of red and the teal hanging out. So let's let these dry and I'll be right back. Alright, now our piece is dry. We can start mark making. This is the perfect time to get out any mark making and fun thing that you've collected through the years that you're thinking, ooh, I want to do this type of mark, I want to use this type of supply, what have you. I'm still kind of working within my color range, which I don't think I did too bad, kind of sticking to similar colors. We threw some blue in there, but I love the blue, so I don't mind that a bit. And now we can kind of come in here and start defining a little extra mark making and circle work in here if we want. You can use some gold, you can use some fine line pen, you can use some colors, you can use some oil pastels. These are the Neocolor II crayons that I've got here, and I'm just looking at it and thinking, ooh, where could I put some extra lovely circle making in here? Okay, I love that one. That was a good choice. This is some kind of gold, but oh, looks good right there. Maybe a little pink in here. See? It's all about just experimenting and finding the joy and not worrying about where we're gonna end up. Okay, I like the pink. Let's put the pink out here like that. Because part of my joy now in the art making, okay, I like this color, is this. The in-between part, the journey part. And when I was younger, I had a lot of trouble enjoying the journey when the outcome wasn't what I expected, and I don't have that problem anymore. Now I don't have the expectation at the end. I don't get worried about what is it going to look like when I'm done. I try not to even worry about, am I going to like it, because maybe I won't like it, but that's okay. I had fun showing up and hanging out with you guys and painting and creating something that I never would have otherwise created, which for me is, that's the amazing part of this. That's what I want to do. That's now the goal. Have fun. I don't know what color that is. Let's see, what is this? Sanguine. Have fun, enjoy this part of it, and don't get hung up on what are you creating and what are you going to do with it when you're done. So many people ask me, what do you do with these when you're done? I keep them. I enjoy them. I look at them. If I put them in a book, even better. Like in an art journal. That's why I've gotten to where the art journals are so much fun. Okay, I like this color, which is real similar to that color, isn't it? That's why the art journals to me are so much fun, because the journal itself is the piece. Look at that color. The journal itself is the piece of art, and I love that. And now I have a whole book of stuff when I'm done that I can show off and look at and enjoy and flip through. And so now it's not a case of what are you going to do with this. It's a case of, look at this amazing art book that I made. And that to me is like the best feeling. Okay, I'm just working intuitively here. I'm not really trying to get any specific place. Ooh, here's a pretty purple. And with the concentric circles, for me, it's all about just adding more circles on the circles and kind of defining if we've lost some of our circle work through all of this. Kind of going into some funky directions. Look at this kind of a blue. This is a way that we can redefine that, oh yeah, there were circles there. Oh my goodness, look at these. This is where you find the joy. It's where I find the joy anyway. I mean, like, I'm almost giddy. This is so much fun with the lovely circles, because I like concentric circles. They're fun. Oh, I love this one here. What do we want to, let's add some pink in there, because I think it'll be pretty. I love it. So we could too, let me get some markers. I'm feeling maybe some markers. We could put some dots in here, not a bunch, but a few. Let me get my little Arctics markers out over here on the corner. And let's just see. I'll move these out because I'm going to use them still. I've got my little Arctics marker set out. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe a few pink dots. I'm feeling pink dots. I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it? Not a whole lot, just maybe just a few, kind of something fun in here. You could come in with all your favorite mark making things to do, like maybe you like to make lines, or maybe you like to really define out some different areas. Yeah, have fun with it. I'm just going to add in some fun mark making that maybe we'll see as we get closer. Doesn't have to be overwhelming. Oh my goodness, I love it, I love it, I love it. I didn't even eat any of the little awake chocolate today, and I'm like feeling a tiny bit giddy. And that, man, let me tell you, that makes for a good paint day when you can kind of get high on just the fun and the excitement of a little bit of messy art making. I love it, love it, I love it, love it. Okay, so I almost want an orange, but not like one that's gonna like jump. That one jumped out at me. Roar! Didn't necessarily want it to completely jump out at us, but we'll do it sparingly. How about that? Just so that it's like a lovely little surprise and not like suck you in your face like maybe that dot was. Okay, we can pick it back up with our, there we go. Pick it back up with our finger. Oh, see, I don't even need caffeine to have fun. Ooh, see that right there? I mean, that square right there, just blow that up into a big painting and hang that on the wall. Ooh, let's do a couple right in here. Oh, and this one, like now I can see like totally like blowing those up to a great big something. Great big statement piece. It's so beautiful, those colors, these colors, these colors. This is why something like this is fun. Okay, so that was super fun. Anything else over here that is asking for something? Do we like this? I don't know, do I? Just some, I kind of like not overdoing that. I kind of like that. Now we could come back in with a tiny bit of some mark making. Do we need any mark making? Anything like that with maybe something that's not like super overwhelming, but maybe it would be cool. Just kind of in there. Oh yeah, you know what this makes it kind of look like when you do something like that? A little bit like an eyeball. Like the iris of an eyeball. I mean, we can just kind of think of this as 12 eyeballs. Oh, I know you love it when I start like picking on my own art. But I just want some of these elements to be lovely and not overwhelming. But you can do these in any way that inspires you. If you like the lovely mark making to be just really a powerful part of your piece, go for it. Do it. Do it. Get in there and let these elements be part of your composition. Let them speak to you. What's it telling you it needs? Ooh, I like that. These, in a way, too, kind of remind me of like nebulas out in the cosmos a little bit. Some little nebula work going on there, which I think is pretty cool. That looks like little eyelashes almost. You could also get in here with your uniball pens if you like the white and the gold and the silver, those little uniballs. Those would be perfect for something like this, these little pens. So we could come back in with just maybe a tiny bit of gold. I was thinking gold, and then I was like, no, not the gold. But now I'm thinking, yeah, gold. Just a few lovely little marks with the Uniball Signos. That's what this is. And it's just lovely because it can be something that's just a tiny bit. Let's see if you can see that sparkle right there, that little bit of sparkle. Yes, something that's not overwhelming. I don't want it to be super overwhelming, but I do kind of want it to shine a little in the light when you turn your head and you're like, oh, wait, what did my eye just catch? Okay, this was a good choice. And I was kind of gonna skip it. I mean, I'm almost thinking, should I do a little bit of like a gold line out here on these, just something a little tiny bit, just a little bit of wonkiness. Now I kind of want that one over here. It's our little nod to Gustav Klimt in our Wassily Kandinsky piece. I thought that was kind of cool how the next master study that inspired me was a contemporary of Klimt. I mean, I don't think that in my mind, because master studies take a lot out of you to create. Like, it's a lot of work for me to come up with all the resources and then the projects and then paint with you and record it all and get it all set up in a class. I mean, there's a reason why you only see like one a year from me, because it's a lot of work to really study and appreciate and pull that together in a way that's fun and with some projects that people would enjoy. Look at that. Oh my gosh, look at that right there. And in such a way that, you know, you can incorporate these works into your own work. That takes a lot out of me. Like, I'm exhausted when I finish putting together a whole master study. And I was kind of, I don't know, I wasn't thinking Wassily Kandinsky. But sometimes, especially after I go through a whole big round of creating like YouTube videos, then I'll be like, okay, I'm ahead, I'm gonna take a break. And then mentally, like, my mind is like, ooh, let's start making classes, and then I'll get a class idea. And then this time that class idea was like, you're ready for this guy. And I'm like, really? All the ideas, they just start to flow, and I'm like, this is the one that inspired me? I'm kind of surprised at the one that inspired me, because I know it's time to film and do and study a master when the ideas just start to flow and flow and flow and flow. And until that happens, I'm not ready. And this year, all of a sudden, I saw maybe the Concentric Circles somewhere. I think I saw that painting online, and I'm like, this one, I'm inspired now. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Okay, so I feel like as we're evaluating here, I need to add something into this little one here, and then I could be close to being done and calling it a day. I mean, you could work on these for a while, but look how fun it is when you're done. I mean, I'm like super thrilled with this. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit to that one, and then I'm going to appreciate what we got to. Let's do some pink in here. Ooh, that's fun. Maybe it's asking for maybe a tiny bit of like orange in here. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, we're close. I still might look at it later and think, ooh, I need something here or there. But for today, I'm kind of feeling like I need a little something in this one. I almost want it to be a green something, but that would totally throw it outside of our colorway. But that blue is pretty. Like, maybe it needs a little bit of blue. Maybe it needed some mark making. I don't know, I can't leave it. Hang on. Could have done some mark making in the orange. Totally could have done some mark making in the orange, or like an orange pencil. Yeah, let's do the orange Neocolor. There we go. That's what it's asking for, just a little bit. Oh, I love this center part right here. Okay. This one could use something. And I'm keeping these little lines thin and very light. I don't want it to overwhelm. Okay, I feel like I'm there for the moment. We might come back and work on this more later, but for the moment, I think I'm there. Look how pretty this piece is. It's even prettier than my first piece. See, can't you see doing these like over and over? I still love this one. Like love. Like maybe even a whole set, like pick your favorite square and then do a whole set of that same square, that same colorway, one colorway 12 times. That might be fun. I mean, there's so many variations of a concentric circle that we could do. Continuing on with the color exploration, the mark making, super fun. Okay, I have a high polymer mark eraser here where I can just pull my pencil marks off the edges. That's the best one for doing that. Some erasers don't erase hardly anything on watercolor paper, but this one cleans that edge up gorgeous. That's my favorite, the Pentel high polymer one. Which randomly I think those have come in my sketch box, and that's how I've decided that's my favorite. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Oh my gosh. This one is so beautiful. Wow. Might go back and put a little gold in that one. But super fun. I hope you enjoyed exploring Wassily Kandinsky with me. Definitely check out the new class. It's available on my website and on Skillshare. And it is called Unlocking Kandinsky, the Art and Color Theory of a Modern Master. And I can guarantee you, I come up with the funnest projects for master studies that makes them exciting, enjoyable, and I know that you're going to love doing some of these projects with me. So come check out this class, and I'll see you guys next time.